Hey everybody, this is my vlog for my birthday weekend. I was on my way to Philly and I just wanted to show you some footage as I was driving through West Virginia. And I know my mom's watching this, don't worry, I had a little contraption on my dashboard to hold my phone. You and Dad taught me well, safety first. Hey guys, I have just arrived in Pennsylvania. I'm at the Welcome Center. I am on my way to see Dawn, and later this weekend we're going to meet up with Yota and Cami. So far the drive has been really easy. I'm taking a little pit stop here so I can have a picnic lunch. The weather is beautiful. I'm stretching my legs, getting some fresh air. So far so good. All right, I'll check in with you later. When I arrived in Philly, Dawn took me to dinner at the Nifty 50s. We had these delicious milkshakes. I had my first Philly cheesesteak, and the place had so much character. The next day, we traveled to Princeton, New Jersey. We had a wonderful tea at the Peacock Inn. It was just beautiful, and the food that they served us was absolutely delicious. I highly recommend this experience if you are ever in that area. We also went to the Hermes there in Princeton, and I discussed that in my previous video, which will be linked below. We then took a walk through the Princeton campus. That was really exciting for me, especially because my husband was a student there way before I knew him. And when he was in the choir at Princeton, he sang several concerts in the Princeton chapel, and it was absolutely beautiful. And then the next day, we were on our way to New York City via the train that led us right into Penn Station. I highly recommend the Tenement Museum. They have several different tours available. The old apartment building was almost in original condition. Some of the furnishings had been replenished or donated by families. This museum is still in contact with families and the descendants of the family members who used to live in these apartments. Now do you see some familiar faces across the street? That's Cami from Cami's Closet, Yota from Yota Style, and her husband Keith. And we met them at the Coach store right there off of 5th Avenue. this is the Coach flagship store, right there in the heart of New York City. I think their displays were really interesting and fun to look at. These were either vintage bags or made to look like vintage bags, but I love that little carousel that they were moving on, and you could see the city, behind this display. One of the most fascinating things for me to see was this huge dinosaur, this Coach Rexy, here on display in the store. And it is made out of Coach leather bags. It was so intricate. It was so amazing to look at all the details. I did not expect to be so wowed by this feature in their store. So obviously we had a lot of fun being together and shopping together. How can you not have fun with this group? That's for sure. This was the bag that I was carrying, my Terrain PM, and I did buy a little something at Coach, and I discussed that in a previous video, which will be linked below. It was such a great day. It was a fantastic way to spend my birthday. I'm so glad that we did this. So the next day, Dawn took me to this Chinese restaurant that had these traditional dumplings cooked in these steamer baskets. I never had soup dumplings before, and I learned how to slurp out the soup. And I gave a big thumbs up of approval. I thought it was delicious. A very fun feature of this restaurant is that they used robots to bring dishes to the tables and also to take away some dirty dishes. And they had cat faces, which was adorably cute. We went shopping in this really lovely town, Haddonfield, New Jersey. I will have the video linked below where I showed all the things that I bought on this trip. It was great fun, not only fun to shop, but also fun to hang out with Dawn and to enjoy this little beautiful town. Great secondhand stores. I was able to try on the Coco top handle in 2 different sizes. There was also a store, Just Bella, that carried a lot of MZ Wallace. I had fun looking at those bags. And Dawn and I found this vintage Coach bag, new with tags. It was the Harper. I loved the color, but I left it because it was pretty big and pretty heavy, but I really enjoyed looking at it. To end my trip, Dawn took me to this fantastic Italian restaurant. I'm going to put a link to this restaurant down below. I think you might be interested in reading how the owner actually spent some time in prison for some activity, organized activity, but he used that to his advantage, learned how to be a chef, and that skill gave him the opportunity to open this successful business now. And here's a pic of my birthday cake. It was a devil's food cake with whipped cream. I had a wonderful trip. Dawn, thanks for being such a great host. And everybody, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.